Guys, before we jump into this video, I just want to take a quick second to thank the sponsor of this video, Bioprotein Technology, the makers of BioPro Plus. I've been using this product for quite a few months now, and it is a game changer. Basically, it's a non-synthetic growth hormone alternative. You take it orally, and it helps all kinds of things like your libido, your energy levels. It's amazing. So more info in the description. You can use my code and save $30 on a month's supply. Big thanks to Bioprotein Technology for being our sponsor. Let's get into the video. Folks, it has begun. Big tech censorship of political candidates is already happening. Vivek Ramiswamy, presidential candidate running for the Republican Party, was just banned from LinkedIn. This is insane. This is nuts. I mean, it's not shocking, but man, it's already starting. So Vivek released a video addressing this and discussing the reasons LinkedIn gave him for why they banned his account. And really it boils down to they disagree with him politically. Let's get into it.
I was a bit surprised to get an email noting that my LinkedIn account had been shut down. I wondered why, because actually a number of friends texted me saying they follow me on LinkedIn. That's how they keep up. They weren't able to find me anymore.
Wow.
And so when I had my team get in touch with LinkedIn, here's the response that we got. I'm not kidding. I'm reading from this. Your account was restricted for sharing content that contains misleading or inaccurate information. They said what it was. One was a video where in the video I said, the CCP is playing the Biden administration like a Chinese mandolin.
True.
China has weaponized the woke pandemic to stay one step ahead, and it's working. That was the first offense. The second offense was one where I said that if the climate religion was really about climate change, then they'd be worried about shifting oil production from the U.S. to places like Russia and China.
Correct.
Yet the climate religion and its apostles in the ESG movement have a very different objective. That was my second offense. And apparently my third strike was to say this: the climate agenda is a lie. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Those are my three strikes.
And that last one is 100% true. They may not like it, but if you cut off fossil fuels right now, we would perish, right? These are all factual statements. Wow, this is crazy. It has begun, guys. Big tech censorship of a U.S. presidential candidate. Jeez.
That got me censored on LinkedIn. This is staggering. And so then we push back, and what do we say? We actually got specifics on how we're actually, hate speech, misinformation, and violence. Those were the policies that I was actually violating.
Wow. This is crazy. This is not, although I'm not surprised. LinkedIn is a cesspool of DEI and ESG and virtue signaling. And it's just nuts, though. He's a presidential candidate. And I mean, Reid Hoffman. I'm not surprised. All right.
Now, I got a kick out of this. I'm going to be honest. I'm sure that we're going to get this escalated because I'm a U.S. presidential candidate. We have the connectivity to the people that we need to talk to be able to get my LinkedIn account back. But I'm not bringing this about because it's about me. I'm bringing this up because if they can do it to me, they can really do it to anybody. For making statements about the climate change movement and agenda in this country that are grounded in fact, and then express an opinion based on those facts. To make a statement about Biden's relationships with China and criticize his China policies as a result. To say that that's going to be characterized as misinformation, hate speech, and
it's the job of a presidential candidate to criticize the policies of the person they're going up against. That's why we have debates. LinkedIn should just say, hey, we disagree with you politically. That's why we're censoring you, because that's exactly what it is.
Violence per LinkedIn's terms of service. This is a Microsoft-owned company. It shows what's going on in this country. These aren't really the actions of private companies. These are so-called privately held companies or publicly traded private companies that are doing the work of the government through the back door, silencing speech that the government would never dare censor, could never censor under the Constitution, but use the back door of tech companies to get it done instead. That's even more dangerous than direct government censorship in many ways, because it is a hybrid of corporate power and state power together, doing what neither one of them could do on their own. That's really what this is about. So I'm not worried about me. I'll get my LinkedIn account back, I'm sure. And if not, I'll still be fine. Believe me. I'm doing it because it's a symptom of how deep this cancer has run in our country. And believe me, we will stop at nothing in restoring free speech in our country, in restoring internet freedoms in our country. I've been writing about these issues for several years. I was actually one of the first people in this country to expose the way government was colluding with big tech to get done through the back door its dirty work. And so it seems like karma that they've come back and actually punished me for it in the form of censoring my speech about climate change and about China policy. But believe me, I'm not going to stay censored. We're going to get this done through the national revival that we're leading starting next year.
Whew. Folks, it has begun. None of the things that this guy said were actually hateful, violent, etc. They were legitimate criticisms of the current policies of the current administration. They were legitimate criticisms of the energy industry and what needs to be done. They were legitimate criticisms of the climate change fanatics. Man, if this is a sign of what's to come, we're in for a crazy presidential election season. Let me know what you guys think down below. Was it justified? Was it not? Obviously, you know where I stand. This is totally unjustified and an egregious violation of his rights, because you know that it's really the censorship arm of the federal government. Crazy stuff, guys. All right, like, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on the notification bell. I love you guys. Until next time, keep your minds free.